Okay. Well, welcome, Lixin Liu, CEO of Keystone Wallet. Been a long time. How are you doing? Welcome to the show.
Yeah, good, 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 good. How are you? How are you going?
Yeah, I'm doing good, doing great. Trying to, uh, somehow make a sense of all what's going on around us. But we just been, talking before privately.
Yeah,
So, what can we do? I mean, we can, push for more education and empowerment of the people with technology,
yeah.
with useful, I'm a fan, huge advocate of simplicity, as you know, and making it
Okay.
empathetic, user-friendly, and really making it easy for people, especially, in respect to all the circumstances that's going on. I think
Hmm.
there are going to be more and more people, not only Bitcoiners, but there are going to be more people who will migrate, who will move, who will be in transition, So
Yeah.
I think it would be good. Like, I'm just going to give you a practical example. I mean, I live with my girlfriend right now, at top of the mountains with our 7-month-old baby girl. And then my full node, for example, is at my own home in Vienna. So if
Okay.
everything goes wrong, like I have nobody who's gonna, restart it like physically, replug, unplug it or whatever. So I think it's these
Okay.
kind of details are gonna become more important. And so we have sort of, I don't know what the word is, like more redundancy, more
Okay.
flexibility, more redundancy. So I
Yeah.
think this, the air-gapped Keystone Wallet, formerly Kobo Vault, which you're going to talk about, which I want you to talk about, like what are the differences, what has changed since then. Go ahead.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. I think maybe we can recap a little bit about why we do the rebranding. Maybe we can start from there. So yeah, I think you guys and also your audiences, your followers, or they're all familiar with Cobalt. And also I wanted to drop a big thank you for you, for Kevin, for making those wonderful tutorials and also education tweets about Cobalt, about air gapping, about QR code, about multi-signature, everything. I'm really thankful of that. And the thing is, but the CoboBot is one of the, I'm not sure you or your audiences know, is that the CoboBot is one of the three product lines of Kobo. And Kobo is a big, giant wallet company here in China. And the other two product lines for Kobo was the Kobo Wallet and the Kobo Custody. And they are both centralized wallet. And in 2020, because it was a bull market, especially considering the booming DeFi stuff, and Cobalt Wallet at that time was making tons of money. So and also another reason, so they decided to strictly focus on their centralized wallet, which is Cobalt Wallet and the Cobalt Custody. And so they decided to keep Cobalt into minimum maintenance. And another reason for them doing this is that they feel that there's very little synergy between Cobalt and the Cobalt Wallet, because Cobalt Wallet was centralized service and focus in China, but Cobalt was decentralized service and focus on European countries and the United States, Canada, Australia, these kind of countries. So there are very little synergy between these two products. That's the reason that Cobalt wants to deprioritize the Cobalt vault into minimum maintenance status. And personally, I can fully understand that from a business perspective, right? So you just to try to optimize your limited resources in the company and try to make the biggest outcome. It's very natural thing for running a company, and I can fully understand that. But the problem with that, for our Cobalt team, where we were really, really into this product, and we were also, even the Cobalt was not making tons of money like Cobalt Wallet, but luckily we break even when in the middle of 2020. So overall, the business was good. Was not that good as Cobalt Wallet, but the business was good, and we received a lot of respect from the community, and we were very, very keen to the feedbacks from the users. Like you also gave us a lot of feedbacks, and we the product and to polish the product better. And also we were deeply engaged with the Bitcoin community, especially the Bitcoin developers. We interact with them to make the Cobalt Vault compatible with different kinds of wallets like Blue Wallet and Wasabi, and also Spectre, Spiral Wallet. And the thing is, we also joined the community as part of, we can fully feel that we were part of the Bitcoin community. Also, we were contributing to co-draft a Bitcoin improvement proposal for multi-signature. And also we co-worked with other wallets together to spread the idea of 100% air gapping, right? And also the QR code standard. So we did a lot of things for Bitcoin community. So we cannot be easily convinced to drop this product and help Cobalt team to build the Cobalt wallet. It's not what we want. So, and they gave us very offer, but we turned them down. So Cobalt team left. And personally, I bought out the intellectual properties of Cobalt Vault, and we left Cobalt team to create the new brand Keystone. So basically, Keystone took every legacy features from Cobalt Vault, like QR code air gapping, PSBT, Bitcoin only firmware, multi-signature compatibility, Shamir secret sharing for mnemonic phrases, and also dice rolling for create your own mnemonic phrases, and also features like fingerprint sensor and web authentication, self-destruct mechanism, everything. So we took every legacy from Cobalt Vault. And also for Keystone hardware wallet, we also had several improvements. For example, when we were in Cobalt Vault, a lot of users were complaining about the micro SD card slot. So it's a hide behind the battery, and it's very hard to.
Yeah.
yeah. I know. It's for me also. It's terrible for me too. Yeah.
Because I remember there was a sort of a, I think it still comes with a stick, right? And if you don't have that, you have to do it with whatever comes from the tool, with your finger or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. You poke it out of the slot. So for Keystone hardware wallet, the first thing we do is we move out the slot to the side of the device. And also we made several other improvements. For example, we improved the quality of the battery, and also we improved the QR code scanning speed, and also we upgrade the QR code protocol from an older version, which is BCR UR 1.0 to the most modern standard, which is BCR UR 2.0, which is currently the industry standard right now. And also we are working on integrations with other Bitcoin wallets, and hopefully some big projects. Hopefully we will release that in September. Yeah, this mainly the stuff where we did for the improvements of the Keystone hardware wallet. And right now we are totally running the business on our own independently. So we won't be hindered by other like bigger company decisions or this kind of stuff. So we can fully dedicate it on this hardware wallet and to try to be the best hardware wallet with the best security and also best user experience in the market. So yeah, this is why
Okay, no, that's terrific, beautiful. Let me just go step by step. Some questions. I think I remember when you first announced, you sort of detached yourself from Kobo, and you got your own. You lead the project and the company as a CEO, and there were a lot of people, I think, who like myself, who were using the Kobo Vault. The first question I think was. Will there still be like updates to the Kobo Vault, right? So, I mean, intuitively, the first thing I did, I just discarded it. I just threw away the Kobo Vault because I was using Spectre with it as a single wallet or a multi-signature wallet on Spectre. And it just didn't make sense anymore. And then, I was thinking giving it to someone else. But, if you're not like technically really advanced and you don't know, how to, and you feel like insecure, like, are there any like insecurities or I guess you'd have to erase everything and then reset and maybe use it just as a hardware wallet or as a second, third hardware wallet. And the other question I think was about the battery. So you can still use the old battery because you said you improved the battery. Yes. So because it's it was still the same specifications, the same parameters. Yes. I just kept it. I kept the charger, or whatever you call it, the rechargeable battery or the battery holder, right?
Yes. The battery you can use the couple volt battery for Keystone, but unfortunately, we cannot offer any updates for the couple volt firmware because the couple volt firmware, unlike Trezor, for Trezor they can accept third-party firmwares. So, but for couple volt, we didn't allow that for security reasons. And for every couple volt firmware, it needs to be signed by a specific key, and that key is owned by Cobol team, not us. So we cannot sign the firmware. We cannot do updates for Cobol Vault. And for the later updates, that will be focused on the Keystone hardware wallet. And I know it will make some users unhappy. And here I wanted to note again that the decision of not signing the firmware was not by us, but by Cobol team. I asked for the private key to sign the firmware, but they didn't give us because they wanted to migrate those Cobol Vault users to Cobol Wallet. So they don't want to migrate those users to Keystone. Even migrating to a centralized service doesn't make sense, but this is what they want to do. Yeah. So, and for the old Cobol Vault users, we offer a 50% off coupon for them. You just need to send the order proof to support at keyst.one, KEYST.ONE. Just put them together is Keystone, keyst.one, support at keyst.one. Forward the Cobol Vault order confirmation email to that, and then we will share a 50% off coupon to you. Yeah, this is our.
I'll put all those links in the show notes, but I recommend everyone to go check out first of all your Twitter handle, Bitcoin Lixin, or Keystone on Keystone Wallet, and the website is again keyst.one. So I'm gonna I can screen share maybe later on. So you mentioned something about like improving also the QR code, because there were some not only with Keystone or Cobol Vault formerly, but with the scanning of the QR code. But actually, you already had that function, where you can like animate the QR code in case if you're working, for example, with Spectre, or I don't have much experience with. I'm using Sparrow, which is a great, even user-friendly, noob-friendly desktop wallet as like Spectre. So before we talk about that, before we talk about different methods or options, how you can use the Keystone wallet. Are there any details I've left out, besides improving, those?
Maybe I can explain more about the QR code. So the first thing we do is we improve the quality of the camera. So previously, I don't remember the exact number, but for the previous version of Cobol Vault, the camera can just recognize a small range of size of the QR code. But right now with the new camera, we can recognize a bigger spectrum of the sizes of the different sizes of the QR code. So you can recognize big one or very small one. But for older version of Cobol Vault, you can only recognize a small spectrum of the size. So that's the first thing. And also we improve the QR code protocol. into a more modern standard, which is BCR UR 2.0, which is managed or which is pushed by the blockchain commons team. And that is a more advanced version and also can make the scanning user experience much better.
Yeah, and yeah, before I forget, I mean, we should mention Keep It Simple Bitcoin and BTC Sessions, or Ben, who makes a lot of really super tutorials, guides, whether it be hardware wallet or how to create a single wallet, multi-signature wallet, all the technicalities. I think BTC Sessions and Keep It Simple Bitcoin do a great job. Yeah, I just lost the thread. I'm just gonna ask you something. So what are the common questions that you get from the users that you have, or the customers, when it comes to Keystone Wallet?
You mean for the Keystone?
Yeah, like issues, challenges, or what are the most common?
Okay, I think the first part is about the feature requests. Right now, we haven't. There are something big in front of us that we're going to do. The first thing is we're going to integrate Casa. People are asking for that, and also people are asking we should integrate it with Caravan. And yeah, we will also put some resource on that to do that. And also people are asking about Taproot. We're also looking into that, and maybe we can support that in the future. That's for feature requests. And also a lot of users, they are asking, especially some hardcore Bitcoiners like you, they're asking whether we can give them devices with Bitcoin only firmware as the factory firmware.
I was just going to ask you.
Yeah. So
and
actually,
the update process. Yeah.
Yes, right now we are working. We just started working on our next generation product development, and for next generation, we will make some of the devices as the Bitcoin only firmware as the factory firmware. So when you receive the product, you don't need to upgrade from multi-coin to Bitcoin only. When you receive it, it's just Bitcoin only. You just need to update the latest Bitcoin only firmware. So this is also what we're working on, basically for our next generation. And also for the next generation, we're going to make it more open. Maybe right now there's still a big closed part, not strictly closed part. If you sign an NDA, we can share you the source code, but it's not publicly showed. It's the Android code. So we may replace that Android layer with some other solutions to make that part fully open source. So this is also what we're working on. And also people are asking us if we can use a secure element made by Western countries. Yeah, and that's also something, a Western brand secure element. We're also working on that actually.
Why is that? I'm curious. Why is that? Why the secure element? What are the risks? Like if you do not have
not the risk. So currently we are using a secure element from a relatively small vendor, but the upside of doing that is that the vendor allows us to open source the firmware of the secure element. So that's the upside. But the downside is we're using a relatively small vendor. So for next generation, we will change the strategy a little bit to use it, because for Cold Card, they are using the secure element only for storage. They don't use the secure element to do any cryptographic calculation or algorithms. They just use secure element as the storage. So maybe for our next generation, we will take the same approach. And then we don't need to open source the firmware of the secure element because it's just a simple storage. And then we can use because it's storage, so we can use some kind of closed source secure element just for storage. We don't do the cryptographic calculation, just like Cold Card. So I think this is a good approach.
Mm-hmm. Now, Now Keystone wallet is an air-gapped hardware wallet, right? I mean, actually, we should stop calling
Yes.
it hardware wallet because it's actually a key signer, right? This is
Yeah. Yeah,
right.
definitely.
Yeah, but it's an
Definitely.
educational process. People need to understand, what is Bitcoin, what is the blockchain. I mean, because
Yeah, yeah.
it's
Actually, I think you bring a really good topic. We really wanted to position Keystone as we call it cold blood signer. So it just signs the transaction for different kinds of software wallets. And for the software wallets, you don't need to worry about the keys and the signing process. You just leave that to us. And we scan the QR code, get the unsigned stuff, and verify it on the device, sign it, and then send it back. So this is also our mentality or our product philosophy. So we don't want to build a walled garden. We just want it to be compatible with as many software wallets as possible. Not only Spectre, Spiral for the most popular, and Blue Wallet for the most popular wallets. We're also talking to some new wallets like Nunchuck and also Lily Wallet, this kind of new wallets. So we really, and this also take the full advantage of PSBT. So we just take the rule or obey the protocol of PSBT, and then we can interact with other software wallets. So yeah, thank to BIP174. Thank you to Andrew Chow. Thank you for PSBT for making this to maximize this compatibility and interoperability. We really like this.
Yeah, it's great work done. Before we talk about
Mm-hmm.
like different methods or different options and how you can create, wallet or mobile with a mobile wallet or desktop wallet, single sig or multi sig. Let's talk about like the okay. You mentioned like it when you send out the Keystone wallet, it comes by default as a multi-coin wallet, right? So
Yes.
so what people do is like I did, I immediately download and installed the Keystone
Bitcoin.
from a Bitcoin only, and
Mm-hmm.
the update process when you have like a update, just maybe I thought it's important to mention when you download the newest file, the newest update file on the micro SD. Do you just do you have to extract the zip file, or can you just download the whole thing and drag the whole zip file into the micro SD? Maybe might be a totally naive question, but I think for lots of noobs maybe out there, what is the like the correct way to do this?
Yeah, I think there is some kind of historical reason here. So, in if you go to our source code, you can see that when we're upgrading a firmware, we only recognize a zip package, which is the named as update.zip. So we have to use this file name as for the upgrade file. But also for upgrading the product, we also need to tell people what's the version number of this package. So we have to wrap another layer outside of the update.zip and name that as like version 1.4.0 or version 1.3.1. Yeah. So yeah, I know this is a little bit confusing, but if you have go through one just one time and you're familiar with this, I think it's okay.
Exactly. So okay, so when you are, I guess a lot of people, using, or I don't know, maybe can you talk about like what are your experiences or your, the feedback you get? Like, how many are there more people using it, using the Keystone wallet, in connection with a mobile wallet, and what are the most like, favored ones, or
Okay, okay. I think for some, I think if you want to do multi-signature, currently the favorite wallet is still Spectre or Spiral, because those two wallets not only offer the feature for multi-signature, but also offer the feature for connecting your wallet to your own node, and even Tor connection, this kind of stuff. And also a bigger chunk of users, those users are not that hardcore. They don't do their own full nodes, but they want some kind of convenient user experience on their mobile phone. And for that scenario, the best choice is for Blue Wallet. So you can use Keystone with Blue Wallet, and also the QR code scanning user experience on a mobile phone is better than on a laptop. So for ease of use and for some average Bitcoiners, Bitcoin only, Blue Wallet is the best choice for them. And also Blue Wallet support multi-signature too, but they can only do 223 multi-signature, which is kind of limitation, but I think it's already good enough for most of the Bitcoiners. But if you want to advance the features, it's better to use Keystone with Sparrow or Spectre.
Yeah, good point. And I think it's important to mention that the thing is, I have an sort of an older Android version. It's a it's a no name. It's a pretty I like my smartphone. It's a Meizu no name, but it has a great features and qualities. But it has it's an older Android version 8.1, I think, something like that. So it does not work with Blue Wallet. So just in case my listeners, Blue Wallet, you need it requires a Android version, I think at least 9 or 10, maybe even 11. I'm not sure. So that's why I had to deinstall it, because it was working until recently, and I couldn't update it. I couldn't reinstall it until I found out in the Telegram chat of Blue Wallet that it might be the reason, might be because I have an older Android version. But not that I was using regularly the Blue Wallet, but there are some there are tons of others super wallets that are still compatible.
I think that also partially explain the reason why you should use a dedicated device for your private keys, because for the software wallets, first the software wallets connect to the internet, the attack surface is bigger, and the second part is the software wallets will iterate very fast. For example, suddenly they don't support Android 8.0. If you keep your private keys on a dedicated device, then you can be very casual. It's totally okay. You just buy another Android phone and download the Blue Wallet and sync them together, then boom, you can use it like the new one, like the older one. It's very easy. But if you put your private keys in your Blue Wallet in your old Android phone, that's kind of, for me, I would be very nervous, because I need to maybe find all my recovery phrases and maybe in different places and put them together to do the whole recover process, which is kind of risky for users. So this is also part of the reason you should use some dedicated devices for your private keys storage and the signing.
Yeah, I mean, I was just testing it anyway, and I didn't have any Sats or Bitcoin on the Blue Wallet. It just it just forces people to. I mean, my smartphone is like I mean, I don't know how many years old, but it just forces you to switch to or buy another Android version, because because there's no support, there's no customer service from Meizu or different providers. They don't give you any upgrade, so it's very annoying. And so you need to spend a lot of money, like hundreds and hundreds of euros or dollars, on a new smartphone, just to be compatible, just to be able to to work, to open up create a Blue Wallet.
Actually, that's a very common that's a very common issue for software development, because I can also understand it from the Blue Wallet team perspective, because they have limited resources, and nowadays more and more people are starting using Android 11, and even Android 9, very few people are using that. So they make the decision to abandon Android 8.0. Will create some kind of inconvenience, but I think that's understandable. This is software development. But the suggestion is that you need to keep your private key on a dedicated device, and to do the signing and the key derivation, this kind of stuff, to make your whole system more robust, not affected by this kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because there might be an issue that with every other app, then it
Yes.
like a lot of
It
apps then
always happens.
stop working all of a sudden. What are you going to
Yeah.
do? So yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, but yeah, it's very annoying. It's just you have to, the annoying part is that the producer, the maker of those phones, they don't, they should be actually at least, give you the the following releases, at least, at least Android
Uh,
9 or some kind of
yeah.
update, but it's like there's no customer service. It's really poor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, is there anything like technically we should mention with regards to Keystone? What kind of questions or feedback do you get like from testimonials from Keystone users?
I think it's pretty good, especially for the micro SD card, because because people usually have very dumb hands and cannot do the micro SD card slot very easily. And also, people are very satisfied with the new camera scanning, because sometimes people scan your mobile phone, sometimes they scan a laptop, or sometimes you scan a bigger monitor. So the QR code sizes varies from different screens and the monitors. And right now, the Keystone can scan almost all of them. They don't need to manually pull the bar to change the size of the QR code. I think this also improve a lot of the user experience. Yeah, and also users are really expecting the integration with Casa and Caravan, and we're working on that.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, if Caravan sort of as what do you call it, as a redundancy, like
Yes.
you can go back and you can retrieve and if
Yes.
everything. So just to mention, I mean, Caravan is from Unchained Capital, right? Sort of as a
Yeah, on-chain capital.
open, accessible. Well, okay,
Yeah. Yeah, fully open source.
okay.
Mhm.
Uh, Maybe we should talk. Or let me ask you about the battery again, because you said you improved also the quality of the battery. Because that's something that irritated me a little bit, because the battery went, was empty like after a relatively short time in
Mhm.
Cobalt. So what's the difference now? Like how does it last? How much longer? Like what's the difference?
Oh, actually, the difference was not the how long it lasts for the battery, but the difference is that previously we received some complaints from the user that because we know that the voltage in our home was not steady, it's not steady, so it goes up and down. For example, in China is 220 voltage, and sometimes it goes to like 250, and sometimes it goes to 150. So for this kind of change, we call it current surge, will hurt the battery and maybe even make the boundary unfunctional. So for the Cobalt, we have this issue. And for Keystone, we have fully solved this by changing the circuit design, because there's a little circuit board in the battery. If you deassemble it, and with the design of that circuit board and add some new electronic component onto that to avoid this kind of issue. So this is mainly the improvement for the battery. We didn't improve the volume of the battery, but the robustness of the battery.
Is there a trick? Because I think someone mentioned that in the Keystone Telegram, or was that you yourself? Like, how can you make it more lasting? Like, is it better to take it off, like when you're not using
Yeah.
it? And
Yeah. So if when you are not using it, if you are still attaching the battery to the device, you will lose battery at a very low current. So it's recommended that if you are not using that, you just detach that battery from the device. And also, it also make people feel safer, because my device is offline, and also now the battery is not attached to device, so I don't need to worry anymore. So it also creates some kind of security feel for a user. Yes.
Great. Let's talk about the multi-sig wallet.
Mm-hmm.
What are the like the biggest obstacles for people like creating or things that people should pay attention to when creating a multi, especially with the Keystone wallet? Is there anything like we should emphasize?
I think generally the first thing we should emphasize is that uh, I think right now there's still some people they don't understand why Keystone and the Cold Card is a better choice of multi-signature compared to Ledger and Trezor. So maybe here I can first explain the reason here first. Actually, the reason is that uh, because we all know the saying that don't trust, verify, right? So on Ledger and Trezor, it's very easy to verify a single signature transaction because you just verify your destination is right, your destination address is right. You just verify the amount of Bitcoin and also the fees are right. Then you sign a transaction. So it's very easy for Ledger and Trezor to verify a single signature transaction, but the situation is totally different on multi-signature transaction because the multi-signature transaction was the multi-signature was constructed by different public keys, XPub, different extended public keys. And if you wanted to fully verify a multi-signature transaction, you have to construct the multi-transaction on your hardware wallet device. Otherwise, your hardware wallet cannot show you the full transaction information of that multi-signature transaction. So this is why Keystone and Cold Card are better choices compared to Ledger and Trezor, because for Keystone and Cold Card, we have the function to collect the extended public keys, not private keys, collect the extended public keys from other co-signers so that we can construct the multi-signature on the device itself. So when a multi-signature transaction comes in, for Ledger and Trezor, mostly you just do blind signing because you cannot verify it on the device itself. But for Keystone and for Cold Card, you can fully verify the transaction.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is
can
very
I just
important.
interrupt you? The difference between Trezor and Ledger would be Ledger even let's say a worse option because you cannot verify. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. So Trezor is a little bit better, but I think the best choice is still Keystone or Cold Card for multi-signature. And I think that's the first thing I want to share. The second thing I want to share is that people should really, really be careful with multi-signature because some people think that I have a 223 multi-signature, which means I have two private keys or two mnemonic phrases, then I'm safe. This is totally a huge misunderstanding, which is even though you just need two keys to sign a transaction to make this transaction valid or to put this transaction on the Bitcoin blockchain, but if you wanted to reconstruct the transaction, you need all the mnemonic phrases, which means you need all the extended public keys. Otherwise,
so map, as it's called, right?
Yeah. Like you need to draw the map first.
I think, yeah, because otherwise you're screwed, right? I mean, if you don't have the map.
Yeah, so it's just like a safe box. You need those three mnemonic phrases to build the box, but the box you only need two keys to open the box. It doesn't mean two keys can build the box. You still need three keys. I think this is extremely important for people who are using multi-signature, and that's the second suggestion. The third suggestion, which is I learned from Casa, because right now we're working on integration with Casa. I think Casa has a very good scheme, which is called health check. So because for some users, they set up a multi-signature and they put their life savings into that multi-signature, and then they don't touch it for like 3 years or 4 years or 5 years. And I think that's quite risky for people, because in such a long time, you don't know what happened to your hardware wallet. You don't know whether it's still functional when you wanted to move that Bitcoin. So Casa introduces a very good scheme, which is called health check. So they ask you to check the legitimacy of your private keys of your different signers every month. So for example, one of the signer was down. So then you can use other two hardware wallets. You can construct another multi-signature and use the other two keys to sign the transaction to the new multi-signature, because if one of the signer it's not functional, that is really risky for you. So I think that's the third thing I wanted to suggest to a multi-signature user. To recap everything, the first is you should construct your multi-signature on your hardware wallet, and the Keystone and Coldcard can do this. And the second is you need to, even for a 223 multi-signature, you need to keep the 3 sets of the mnemonic phrases very well. That's the second thing. The third thing is you need to do health check for your signers. This is really important on maybe a monthly basis or bi-monthly basis, or even every quarterly, but you need to do health check. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I mean, it shouldn't be a warning, but it's really, people need to understand, if you don't know what you're doing, I would advise people, especially who are noobs or who are not technically advanced, or not so much educated yet, to stick to a solid single wallet with with the air-gapped Keystone wallet. By the way, let me go. Okay, before we go into the different constellation combinations of 2 of 3 or 3 of 5 or whatever, air gapped, like a lot of people ask the question, like, what is the difference, okay, between air gapped with Keystone wallet and air gapped with micro SDs, such as you can do both, I guess, with a micro SD, whether it be Coldcard or Keystone wallet. Like, what is there a attack vector when it comes to air gapped methods?
Yeah, actually, first I wanna share is that security is not a 0 or 1 thing. Security is like a spectrum. So what you do, you just try to close as many attack surfaces as possible. First, 100 air gapping is, of course, has less attack surface compared to USB or Bluetooth. This is definitely the thing. And if we compare QR codes and micro SD card, technically, micro SD card has a slightly bigger attack surface than QR code, technically, because there's a very small chip in the micro SD card. It's not just simple storage, you just put in something and take it out. There's also a very small chip in the micro. Maybe I can find a article.
Yeah, Lixin, that's why I think we should call it. And I think Gigi wrote some good chapters in his book 21 Lessons. Because at the end of the day, I mean, it's not really trustless, because it's trust minimized. Because at the end of the day, you have to trust something, whether it be the hardware producer or the maker of the components. So you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it's not 100%. You're right. Yeah, it's trust minimized.
Yeah, it's not 100%. For example, here I'm sharing an article talking about even tiny micro SD cards have chips that can be hacked. So, still the suggestion here is that you cannot fully trust one thing. So the better, how can I, okay, sorry, let me go back. So the ultimate suggestion here is that you cannot fully trust for one solution. So the best choice here is you can build up your multi-signature with different hardware wallets from different vendors. Maybe one of those signers is a software wallet. It's okay, but you should too, and pay attention that sometimes you choose different hardware wallets doesn't mean you don't have the risk, because nowadays a lot of hardware wallets are the forks of Trezor. I think CodeCard is moving their code base more and more away from Trezor's code base, but still there are a lot of hardware wallets. They're just Trezor forks. If you use 3 Trezor forks, it's almost the same as just using Trezor. So just use different hardware wallets from different vendors and build on different code base. This is very important for normal users, and try to minimize your trust for a single vendor, and also try to minimize the attack surface.
So it could be called like distributed risk. Like
that's right. Correct.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So we haven't talked like about different constellation or combination, like, you know, options of multi-signature, whether it be 2 or 3, 3 or 5 or whatever. What about, you know, let's say we use, let's say we you know, we create a multi-sig with Bitbox, you know, with a Bitbox only, you know, bit from Shift Crypto Security, Bitbox 02, and a Keystone wallet and a cold card. I mean, would you recommend that, or what are the different like options?
You mean choosing the quorum or choosing the hardware wallets?
Yeah.
Okay. If you wanted to know about choosing the quorum, actually, just one moment. I can share I think the Michael Flexman tutorial is a very, very good one. This is written by Michael Flexman. So this is a like full tutorial for multi-signature, and this tutorial not only tells you the how to do it, but also tell you all the logic behind the multi-signature. For example, here there's a chapter called Pick Your Quorum, and you can see he also talk about some like advanced considerations, the differences between this kind of quorum pick, whether 2-2-3 or 2-2-4, 3-4, or even n is bigger than 5, this kind of thing. So this tutorial is very good, and you can learn a lot of not only how to use it, but why it is. So this tutorial is highly recommended. But if you you also mentioned how many hardware wallets we wanted to choose, I think for Keystone and Cold Card, these are the best choices. For the third one, you can use a software wallet. Maybe some people are just using Blue Wallet as one of the signers. And also you can try Bitbox. I think that's also a good option compared to Ledger and the Trezor. They can also construct the multi-signature transaction, construct the multi-signature on the device itself. So it's also a good choice.
Do you have, I mean, you know, people can go check out the different, you know, tutorial guides by whatever, Keep It Simple Bitcoin or KISS or BTC Sessions. But do you have on your website, if I can screen share right now, on keyst.one, you have quick guide. Are these like the guides also to create, like how to create with different, you know, with different hardware wallets or different methods?
No, you can go to support.
Oh, support. Okay.
Support. And in support on the left side, you can find, just scroll down on the left side, you can find
multi-sig, like multi-signature.
Yeah, multi-signature. Just click this multi-signature. Sorry, not this one. go up. Bitcoin wallet, third-party integration is Bitcoin wallet.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah. And here you can find under Spectre and Sparrow, we have also Blue Wallet. We have tutorials about not only single signature, but also multi-signature.
And multi-signature, for example, with what kind of wallets? Like with Cold Card and
with Cold Card, we use Cold Card and Seed Picker as the main like examples for people.
Are you thinking like to add like other variations of multi-signature with, for example, you know, as we talked about, like Bitbox, Keystone,
I think
Cold Card?
I think for this are just tutorials or just samples. If you want to use other hardware wallets, you can do it on your own and maybe do your own research. For this support articles, we just give an example that how to use Keystone with Cold Card with this software wallet and also maybe Seed Picker.
Yeah, it's pretty detailed. Yeah, with nice displays, you know, how, and pictures like step-by-step tutorials, instructions. Yeah.
Yeah.
So great. Yeah. So it's, yeah, so you have with Spectre and Sparrow, Blue Wallet, okay. Yeah, and many others. That's great. Yeah. Okay, Lixin, I think we have covered pretty much everything. Is there anything I've left out that we should really emphasize or?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. Okay. And if people, and also I want to emphasize that our team, just like when we were at Cobalt, we were very, very keen to user feedbacks. And my DMs are open on Twitter. So you guys, if you have product suggestions or you need some feature or you find some bug, you just reach out to me on Twitter, or you can go to our Telegram group, and we are very responsive. And also another thing which is I'm really, really proud is that we have a very strong customer service team. And usually we answer all the emails within 24 hours on work days.
Great.
So yeah, and also if you go to support.keystone.one, you can almost find everything, not only our own stuff, but also the compatibility of Keystone with other software wallets. And yeah, we really wanted to be supportive for your Bitcoin journey. Yeah, this is, yeah.
Yeah, and a final thing for the protection of one's private keys, the seed phrase. You have also sort of a tablet. What's it called? Like a
Keystone tablet, and also we have 3 versions: Keystone Tablet Plus, and also Keystone Tablet Punch.
All right. Well, thank you so much for everything you're doing, man. You're doing a great job, and keep it up. And we'll talk soon again.
Thank you so much.
I'll put everything in the show notes. Okay.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
All right. That was it. Lixin Liu, CEO of Keystone Wallet. Make sure you follow him on Twitter. I'm going to put everything in the show notes. And on Twitter, the website is keyst.one. And like, share, subscribe, and follow me and Lixin on Twitter. And if you have any questions, you can go into the Telegram group. They are really supportive, really responsive, and hope you enjoyed this quasi tutorial guide overview on Keystone Wallet, which is formerly Cobalt, but it's now what I really love about the open source nature of the secure element, the ease of use, the simplicity of it, and and the overall security philosophy behind it. All right, thank you so much, and I'll see you soon again. My name is Keyvan Devani of the Keyvan Devani